Insights with Terri Ep.201, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.201. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you are listening to Insights with Terri Ep.201. Thank you for joining me to celebrate the last of 2024 together and explore the week of December the 29th, 2024 into January the 4th, 2025. We've had quite a year. So many people have had good things happen, lots of awakenings, lots of opportunities to maybe think back and see what happened, maybe try to understand why it's happened, try to understand patterns so that maybe we can be a little bit more proactive. And sometimes I'd like to think we can be preventative, but then on the other hand, I wonder. So it's a tough call. We're still in Capricorn sun sign, which gives us the practicality, the responsibilities, the ability to accept those responsibilities, to maybe make a plan, to have a little bit more insight into how do we do what we are supposed to do. And to know what we're supposed to do, we have to be able to sit down and make a plan. And that's what Capricorn offers us. Sagittarius in Mercury, the planet of the mind, offers us hope. So that is the optimistic zodiac sign of all of the zodiac. It's an energy that says never quit, never say die. There's always a way if we just don't quit. So we have the two energies. One is practical and realistic, and the other one is hopeful and full of faith. Now, when we look at those energy fields, it's about balance, right? If we go too far one way or the other way, it can be demoralizing. Reality's wonderful, but there's a lot to be said about reality. And hope is good, but we want it to be realistic. We want it to be something that is, as I said, in balance, something that we need to be realistically hopeful in. And I found myself in November, which had lots of Scorpio in it, feeling down. A lot of it was the politics. A lot of it is the information that we're given. Sometimes it's hard to be hopeful when we listen to all the information that comes streaming in. But getting past that, it made me understand how important balancing all of that is. Taking a little bit of time to let it go and just maybe sit on the porch and watch the clouds go by. Even if you think you don't have the time to do it. Maybe just saying to yourself, you know what, everybody needs a rest for 5 minutes. It's even illegal to work your employees without a break. So it's okay to take a break every once in a while. And in that break of physical movement, that quiet time where we can let our mind stretch and wander, sometimes plans unfold. That's sometimes how and when the universe offers us information. So it's the quiet time that I get my information from. It's not when my mind's going 90 miles an hour with its hair on fire. When it's quiet is when I start to understand maybe the messages that have been given to me that we need to look at, we need to try to make sense of. Now, talking about hope, this is where I'm optimistic, or maybe it's placed well or not well. I have at this moment 2 conures sitting on top of my head that flew in to my office. I thought I was hiding. I guess I wasn't. So my fingers are crossed that they don't peel off in some kind of conure scream, or they don't grab something and abscond with it and I have to go screaming out of the room after them. So let's just hope all they do is sit on top of my head while we finish the rest of this podcast and that we can actually get it done. So there's the optimism of that Sagittarius and Mercury. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, attraction, is still in Aquarius, which, as I have said before in previous podcasts, it's not the best energy field for Venus. But given that, when we look, we can still have hope. This is going to change on the 4th to Pisces. That's a little bit better. Now, the challenge with that will be Pisces sometimes is fantasy, dreamer. It's not rooted in a grounded energy field. So be careful if you happen to just meet somebody during the next few weeks. It may not be all that it seems, but sometimes we don't need to see a future in something. Maybe we can just enjoy it for that moment that it arrives. We can't hold the sunset still. Can't have it forever. We have to enjoy it for that moment in time. So maybe it'll give us an opportunity to coalesce what we'd like in a permanent relationship, what we draw to us for people that we would like within our sphere, be that a solid relationship that we look at as a married couple or soulmates, or just friendship, which I'm not discounting friendship, because over this Christmas I wasn't feeling well at all, and it was friends that stopped in and dropped soup on the porch and called to make sure I hadn't died in a manure pile somewhere. So thank goodness for good friends, right? You don't want to die in a manure pile somewhere. So that Pisces energy that will be coming on the 4th of January in Venus will maybe make some of us really, really, really want a relationship. Maybe it might be safer to get a dog or maybe another bird. You be the judge in your life, or just turn that eye to the person that you already have, so that you can see in that optimistic way of Sagittarius all the beautiful things about them, so we can focus on what we love about that person and maybe minimize the things that can irritate. And then Mars, the planet of our drive and our passion, that is still in retrograde, and that is in Leo. Now that's tough, because that's our energy planet, and when it's going backwards, we're going to have times where you have a burst of energy, and if you time it right, you can get a whole lot done and feel good about yourself. But then it just sinks. So you may have to cultivate an energy or a flow of go and stop, kind of like waves. They come in, they go out, they come in, they go out. When you feel energetic, then you go 90 miles an hour with it. And then when you feel like you need to stop for a second. Just breathe, bring in the energy and just breathe. It won't be a bad thing to maybe just maximize it and be more quality as opposed to quantity. Now, the number that was given to us this time, it's unusual for us. We usually get the common numbers. We get number 22, pairing with where the planets are. And that is an energy 2-2 that seeks collective activities. So, hey, great, right? Over New Year's, everybody gets together. Most everybody gets together over New Year's Day, New Year's evening. So it's a collective type of energy that tries to offer us the opportunity to want to be in community with people. So it will offer us that. It's a very intelligent number, so it focuses on us using our minds. And in personal life, it can maybe push us to take second place in our personal life and put other things first. Maybe partying, social life, just about anything that isn't in our personal life. So you don't want to sacrifice that. So just be careful how you do it and where you do it. If your relationship at this time, and many do, need attention, we may have to look at being self-disciplined, I'm going to say. So being self-disciplined, and then look at how can I balance a little bit of personal life, a little bit of social life. And we're pushed with this kind of an energy to try to see ahead, to be proactive, to be preemptive in a broad context, because we have that Aquarius energy in there, and Aquarius is humanitarian. It's global. It isn't shrunk down to just one-on-one. It's global. And it might offer us a desire to build things And that could be on a big scale. Maybe build an estate for your grandchildren. Cultivate the farm for the next generation, keeping the ground healthy as opposed to just killing it with fertilizer. That type of mindset, it's a broad context. It's inspiration and it's strength. They're asking us to listen to that inner voice. This is going to be so important in the next little bit. I don't think a lot of us are. Many are that have done their work, their personal evolution work. But I do think that given the politicians and some of the voting that we've done and some of the choices that we're going to have, which aren't great, we're going to have to listen to that inner voice to know what is the right decision, what is the right choice, because we're going to have some choices that we're going to have to make. The weakness of number 22 is that we need to use more humanistic attitude towards things and maybe look at our moral structure, not just as ourselves personally, and yes, personally, but as a species, as a group. Are we in authenticity with ourselves? Are we speaking our truth? Are we walking our talk? And watch for mental overload where your mind's just skimming. And that can lead to insanity. And I've done some things lately that, holy cow, if my kids saw me do it, I think they'd be looking at a place for me. It really can avoid concentration. So there's going to be a lack of concentration. So if you're doing something that's important, be careful. Be careful that you're paying attention to it. Now, where the cards came in, and what they're saying is many of our leaders, and this is kind of going through for 2025, not just next week, but many of our leaders are going to be upside down. So they've given me many of the kings of hearts, kings of swords, in a position that isn't good. So that warns me that the people that are in charge of us and that are supposed to be making good decisions are not in charge of themselves, let alone making good decisions for us. So that puts us in a precarious position. And I wish I knew what the answer was. I wish I knew what to tell you to do or what to tell me to do. Because when we have leaders that are making bad decisions for us, we can be victims unless we have the moral fortitude to stand up and maybe stand up, and it doesn't mean necessarily protest, but maybe talk to other people, form a collective mindset, an opinion, come to better, go to your meetings for your city council, take more of an active role. The people that they're showing me that are upside down, the leaders, and I'm not naming any names, you be the judge, that's where your inner voice, will be guilty, I'm going to say, of premeditated malice. They know that they're not doing the right thing. They know that they're not in the right spot for their heart and their soul. They're going to exploit, and they're going to make some decisions that are very, very unfair and prejudice. There's a grandiosity that's enveloping some of our leaders, and that's scary for me too. So there's selfishness, there's ruthlessness, there's deviousness, there's scheming, there's poor judgment, there's suspicion, there's accusation, there's injustice, there's a domineering attitude, unfairness. Oh my gosh. Do you want me to keep going? I could. I shouldn't. I could. I don't want to. I'm going to. Just so that you have all the words that were thrown to me. There's lack of caution. There's vengeance. Cruelty, hardness, severity, cynicism, opinionatedness, manipulation, tyranny, lust for power, legal problems that ensue because of it, intimidation, sadism, revenge, violence, and aggressiveness. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So that means it leaves it to us, little tiny people, to be aware, to call out, to ask for strength, to be brave, to say when it's wrong, to maybe be vocal if we need to be, to band together and do the little things that we can do. And then maybe band together and volunteer and help in a way that's inspirational. And maybe in that goodness, that vibration will put us in a better frame of mind, a better frame of energy. So they're showing me, with all of this, the card of defeat upside down. That card of defeat, when it's in its natural position, and it is not, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, no matter how you approach it, you will not win. It's defeat. But it's upside down. So what that tells me is that it's delayed success. So maybe we are on the path to success in a roundabout way. So maybe experiencing all those adjectives that I just threw at you may offer us an opportunity to make a choice that's opposite of all of those adjectives. And in that, we become successful. And we will find what's true for us, what's important to us. A major card came up, the World, which means learn from the difficulties that kick you in the shins. Learn from the things that were hard, that you overcame and became more because of it. In spite of it, you became more. You didn't let the challenge define you. You chose to be more than what the situation was. And that's going to be offered to us if we choose to take that. And the Eight of Swords, which is obstacles thrown in our way that are almost insurmountable. But this is upside down, which means those obstacles will melt away if we don't quit. If we keep working at things, if we keep moving forward, if we band together in a way that's true and inspirational and honest. It's going to be hard with so many things that are coming at us to know what's true and what's not. We don't know anymore firmly. It's very hard to even look at a picture and know if it's a real picture. But I believe in your heart of hearts, we know what's right and we know what isn't. And I think that we're going to be able to know in our heart of hearts, our soul, what's right and what's not. They're saying in the physical realm, which is money, security, comforts, health, body, to be so grateful and build on that gratitude for what you have, focusing on what we have, not what we don't have. And in that gratitude focuses for us, brings to our attention more what we have than what we don't have. So instead of living in what we would look at as lack, we're living in abundance, because all we see is what we have, not what we don't have. And remembering that really, what do we need? We need water, we need food, and we need shelter. And everything after that isn't as necessary as we think it is. We are going to be tested in 2025. Many of us are going to be tested in 2025. And it's up to us to say, do we have what it takes? Do we? We've never been tested. It's been a good 3-4 decades since we've really been tested in the 40s, the mid-40s. And this generation, the last 30 years, we've had it really, really good. We've had some ups and downs. We had the 80s. We ran through some stuff, but nothing like some of our grandparents and our parents went through. So we're going to have some tests in the coming years. And are we up to the challenge? How strong are we? This is going to be an opportunity for us to know ourselves. It's exciting. It's scary. It's a little bit of optimism, a little bit of pessimism, a little bit of realisticness, and a little bit of responsibility. So we've got some choices to make. Where are you going to stand? Are you going to stand with what you know to be true, or are you going to give in to what's comfortable at this moment? We got some stuff to think about. On that note, I leave you thinking. I want you to have a happy, happy new year. I hope that your plans for New Year's Eve are enjoyable to all of you, whether you plan to stay in or go out. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Charlie O'Brien for putting this all together. He's always doing that for us. He has put us on the platforms of Spotify, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, and he gives me the link. I put that on Facebook. Thank you so much, Charlie. And he's created the website www.terriworld.com, where he's archived a few of the last podcasts, just in case you missed one or you want to go back over it again and torture yourself some more. So thanks, Charlie. Thank you for all you do for all of us. And tune in to his Big 8, the number 8 radio.com if you like. Even if you don't like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, sometimes we don't know that we like it as much as we do until we start listening. Thanks, Charlie. You have yourself a wonderful 2025. Thank you, everybody, for your time taking that and spending it together. Remember, we've only got each other. Let's treat each other really well. If you need a reading for yourself or help with your animal, 519-726-6699. You can call or text, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy New Year. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.